Hey everyone, it's Abe Bliss back again with you, and I just wanted to share with you my Jaeger's Poured Silver Skull collection, and I believe I have about every one that was released out to date. Not including prototypes, but if I'm missing one, um, if you guys could let me know, and maybe I'll try to pick it up. I know I do not have the Celtic skull yet, which is they only have a 1 ounce version of it, and I believe David Yeager said that they're coming out with a 10 ounce version of that soon. But these are just the silver skulls. I think that from Weaver Industry, the molds style wise. So I want to start off with the version 1. This one is the one with the deep eye sockets, and I don't know if I can remember offhand. I believe there was like 30 of these that were minted, and they were having trouble with the molds, with the mold breaking off into the eye sockets, and so they moved to a version 2, which I have one of those version 2s right here. However, they never made them antiqued. This one I ended up purchasing off eBay, but I got a really good deal on it, but it was antiqued by somebody else that I'm not aware of. So they moved on to this version 2, and they just made the eye sockets less deep, so the mold wouldn't stick to it. And basically from there on, they came out with, these are the ones that are being sold today, the 1 ounce versions. Sometimes I purchase some off Providence. Sometimes they come in these, and sometimes they come in these baggies that have the skulls on them. So these are the ones that are that come out, that are still out today, and you can get them shiny or antiqued. And I don't think they have a mintage difference, or they don't keep track of which ones are antiqued, which ones are polished. But that is one of the polished versions. And they did come out, Pit Bullion came out with a limited release of the gold gilded 1 ounce skull, which came with a certificate of authenticity, and I believe there's only 100 of these made. So it's just another variant, I guess. They did stamp it with a G, a serial number, G55, and all the other 1 ounce skulls are not stamped. And then I guess we'll move on to the 2 ounce skulls, and I believe these were $9.99 minted. These are some of the later ones, but still pretty neat. I do like the 2 ounce versions. They still command a pretty hefty premium today. And then we'll go to the 3 ounce. And the 3 ounce was the first one that was released. That's why, obviously it looks quite a bit different on the back, the skull and crossbones, and you know, the one of the first stamps for YPS. And these were not released in, you know, in these sealed packaging. I actually had them sent back to YPS to get them shine. Some of them started toning, and I had them, you know, repolished. And then we will go on to the more rare version. I actually cannot remember how many was the mintage for the 3 ounce. I believe it was around 200 or less. Now, if you actually look for the YPS mintages on YouTube, Silver Slacker came out with a great video with the mintage numbers for about everything. This is the 4 ounce Silver Slacker skull, and these are pretty hard to come by. There was 100 made, and came out a few years back, and they really sell for a really hefty premium online if you can find them today. And actually, I skipped over the 100 gram skull. I unfortunately missed out on these from what the YPS website. I ended up buying these off Provident, and they just pretty much send whatever serial number, you know, it's that they have out of a box or whatever. And there was 2,500 of these minted, and you can still buy these off Provident, so they are readily available. And then we'll move on to the 5 ounce skulls. These were the second released. They still command a pretty nice premium as well. As you can see, they, YPS got their new stamp on the 5 ounce over the 3. It's pretty neat. And we'll move that over here. And then next we will move on to the 10 ounce skull. I kind of missed out on the boat on these when they first released, otherwise I would have got lower serial numbers. But still very cool. I don't personally collect any serial number, but getting low ones is nice sometimes. I know there's certain YPS collectors that, you know, have a straight number and cross the entire line, and it's pretty neat, but I didn't get into YPS till a few years after they were around. And then we'll move on to the newest one that was just released, which is the half kilo 500 gram skulls. These were I believe poured in the 10 ounce mold. They're just bigger, deeper, I guess. And these were 250 mintage. Very cool. And I believe sorry, not in focus. The 10 ounce version was 1,000 minted, and the 5 ounce, I believe it was 200 250, 260. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. And then finally is the kilo skull. And I do not believe that... I'm not positive if they have vintage numbers on these, because how the serial number is stamped. Like, for example, this one was made on December 12th, 2016, and it was the second one made for the day. And this one definitely has some interesting pore lines, cooling marks. And it's kind of got a interesting finish on it compared with my other one. The other one I have is very smooth and shiny, as you can see. And yes, these are pretty heavy for being a kilo. But as far as I know, I believe this is the entire collection besides the Celtic skulls, which, you know, that's an entire different mold itself. And the kilos came with the little coffin boxes. But if I'm missing anything, please let me know. Everybody have a great Monday night. Thanks.